Okay, students, we are going to continue our lesson with principle of segmentation. At the end of this chapter, you should be able to define the term segmentation, discuss the importance of segmentation, outline the reasons for segmentation, outline the benefits and drawbacks of segmentation, explain the following concept in relation to target and mass marketing, explain the criteria for effective segmentation, discuss the base of segmentation. You're going to evaluate consumer buying behavior, and you're going to describe business buyer behavior. We might not get to finish this topic today, however, we will continue in the next lesson. All right, generally speaking, the firm's potential market can span a very wide geographical area. With the development of communication and internet technology, firms are able to reach market across the globe. All right. However, it must be pointed out that the customers within these markets are not the same. They have different beliefs, buying habits, and attitudes. Therefore, to treat the entire market as one would be naive of the firm, right? Would be naive of the firm. My apology for that. Would be naive of the firm. Let me continue. I want to apologize for that. In order to lessen the possibilities of losses and prevent a production or marketing what we call backlash, firms often use the word segmentation approach. All right, we're going to use a segmentation approach. What is market segmentation, you may ask? Market segmentation is the division of market into subsets or segment of potential customers who have similar buying behavior and characteristics. This approach bears in mind that the overall market for a product consists of a segment of customers who respond differently to the firm's marketing mix. As a result, the firm must develop its marketing mix in such a way that it caters for these segments of customers, right? We do agree that everybody is different. Everybody have different tastes. Everybody have different belief, right? And it all boils down to your cultural diversification, right? Or you were all right. If you should choose a product now, let's say in class, and ask your classmate what they think about it, it is very likely that you are going to get various different and some similar response, right? While most people might eat chicken, not everyone likes it when it is fried. Some may like it stew, bake, or even jerk, right? We do agree with that. Or barbecue. Therefore, within your classroom, you could have 4 different segments of chicken lovers. It is no different with the business world. It is the same. Firm may divide their markets into different segments for various reasons. Some of the common ones are to maintain a competitive edge by catering to the specific need of each segment. And when we speak about competitive edge, we are now tapping into our competitors, right? What our competitors is selling compared to what we are selling or offering, all right? Then we look at the capture the market of minority buyers who have different attitudes and habits that those of the mainstream, right? To get a better understanding of the firm's target market. So we all discuss what target market is already, right? We know those are the special group of persons or people that the product is catering to mostly. All right. We also look at to improve profitability, because we all discussed that the aim of the business, one of the main aim is to make a profit, right? So of course this will be categorized as well. So now we're going to look at what are the benefits. Why do we even, use segmentation in our business? The benefits of market segmentation. Let us look at, I'm going to list 3, all right? This can be found in your textbook on page 276. So of course, when you're listening this video, what I'm trying to do is just to give you a summary of what segmentation is. So I'm not really going to go in depth. So the responsibility is on you to do further research and reading on the topic. But I'm going to explain two of the benefits of segmentation. When a business use segmentation, market segmentation, it helps them to identify the specific characteristics of each segment, which can be better able the firm to reach all its potential customers. So when we speak about the word potential, we are speaking about those persons we are expecting to come out into our business, right? They are not yet. We have existing customers. Those are the customers that we know of, who is always here. And then the potential ones are the one that we are, trying to convince to come over here, right? The firm can adjust its product to meet the needs of different segments. That's another benefit. The firm can adjust its product, right, to meet the needs of different segments, right? So adjustment is a benefit, right? As I said, if you go to page 276, you can find additional information. We all know that with benefits comes drawbacks, right? Disadvantages. Let us look at two disadvantages of segmentation. One is researching information about each segment can result in very high administrative costs. It can be costly. What I'm trying to say, it can be costly to do segmentation. Another drawback is that the firm may what? All right, producing product for each segment can rapidly increase the number of product, some of which may be costly to produce. This could also lead to market what? Saturation. So I am telling you again, cost intertwined in this drawback as well. All right, let us continue. We are going to look at criteria for effective segmentation. What are the criteria to get an effective segmentation? One of them is measurability. Measurable, right? One is accessibility, and another one is substantial. All right. There are different bases on which we do segmentation. One of them is demographic segmentation. As we mentioned in chapter 27, that demographic speaks to you about size, gender, growth, age, occupation, density, and race, right? So one of the segmentation also linked to demographic, all right? We all know what gender is, male and female, income, power. Are you working or are you not working? Your social class, like your standard of living, where you belong in the economy, yeah? Occupation speaks to your the type of job that you're doing, yeah, based on your career path, yeah. And then we have another segmentation, geographic. Geographic speaks to where you live, your location, all right? So we have to look at climate. We have to look at all those little things, region, yeah. Then we look at psychographic segmentation. This speaks to your lifestyle, your occasion, behavioral pattern, the way in which you live, yeah. And remember, we speaks of the benefit. Now let us do a rundown on consumer buying behavior. All right. Remember, we explain in chapter 27, we speaks about consumer buying behavior, and we also speaks about the pattern. All right, the pattern and the behavior. We can agree that we are all consumers or customers in some way or the other. Agree? While two words are used interchangeably at times, their meanings are quite different. A consumer is the final user of a product, right? Even though he or she may not be the one who made the purchase, while a customer is the purchaser of the product. So this is what they're saying, you can purchase something, but you're not the one who is going to consume it. All right. So a lot of times people use the word interchangeably, thinking they are the same. But a consumer doesn't necessarily have to be a customer, and a customer doesn't have to be a consumer. Not because you purchase something mean you're the one who are going to use the thing, right? And that's how the difference comes in. It is important though to point out here that we are all have a buying pattern, a buying pattern. For some people, careful planning is the way to go. We're talking about budget here. Some are influenced by advertising, while others just buy an impulse. Impulse meaning you ever go window shopping and you see something that you like and you just say, I'm going to get it. Yeah. When others may plan on what they're going to buy, where they're going to buy it, right? The time, right? And the money, where they're going to get the money from. So they plan carefully, right? And then we have some who just go window shopping, just walking down the road, came upon an item that they like and just purchase it, right? It is therefore the marketer's responsibility to ascertain how we go about buying a product. Consumer buying behavior. It describes the actions that are displayed, right? That are displayed by individuals in purchasing a product or service. It represents the process that consumers go through to select, acquire, and use a product. Now let us look at the consumer decision making process, which is the buying process, the process in which you buy stuff. We have to look at what? A need recognition and the problem awareness. This stage is characterized by an awareness of a need or a problem. So you have to have a need or a problem have to occur for you to want to do this, right? This need could come from an innate desire, such as, let's say, you are hungry and hunger, or could be triggered by some stimulus such as an advertisement, because this advertisement can be very convincing, right? Regardless of what triggers the need though, it is quite evident that the process cannot begin until the buyer has entered this stage. With this in mind, the marketer has to be able to influence this stage in such a way to create demand for the firm's product. So the truth is that we all need food, clothing, and shelter. But the marketer can influence the type of food we eat, the type or the fashion of clothes we desire, and the type and design of house we buy. See that? So those things have to be on the market, right? So that it can influence our desire in doing so. All right. Now we're going to look at, of course, I said that we're doing a summary, and you can also look on page 283 to continue your study, right? In the management of business textbook. Factors that influence buying behavior, right? One, we have culture. And we all can define what culture is, right? It is your belief, all right? Your belief system that you're guided as from growing up as a youth, all right? Your choice in food and dress and music. All those are your culture. Then we have perception. Perception is a hell of a thing. And that me hear people say perception. All right. Customers perceive a product in a particular way, and their action toward the product often match their perception. Our buying behavior is often influenced by our perception, and we have to agree on that, right? For example, some people, if a product does not carry or recognize brand like Nike, Adidas, Jordan, them name brand there, yeah, then it is considered inferior, meaning it is a knockoff, it is not good. Even before it has been tried, people already cast their judgment on the product, right? Of course, we know that everything they're going to say everything from China is easily what it is easily damaged. I don't want to say it like I am live here. All right. Level of income is also another another factor that influences your buying power. Because if you're not working, you cannot buy anything, huh? Unless you're going to steal it now, right? And stealing is not the same as buying. They have the two different definitions. So, level of income. To have a desire to acquire a product is good, but it will not be attainable unless we have sufficient funds to purchase it. We do agree, right? We need money to buy goods. Good. What we buy is very often dependent on the amount and frequency of our income. How often you get paid. Some people get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. I'm not sure if anybody get paid yearly, but if they do have some sort of incentive in between to sustain, right? Sustain them. Then we have reference groups. We have personality. Your personality is different from my personality. What I like, you may not like, though. Then we have marketing. Our buying behavior can be largely influenced by marketers who can use promotion tools to appeal to our desire. I do love promotions. They do appeal to me. I don't know about you, but promotions appeals to me. Whenever I walk into the supermarket and they're doing sampling and testing and all these things, I really like to try them. Sometimes I already know the taste, but sometimes they improve, they enhance the product and they want you to try it out. All right, the difference. So persuasive advertisement, for example, is known to create a desire for the product in people who have seen the advertisement. Think about how sometimes after watching an advertisement about food, you suddenly feel hungry. Yeah? Or you might have had a desire for a product once it was presented to you effectively. That is true. That's what I was saying about the supermarket. Once they're doing sampling and stuff like that, sometimes they prepare it different from us, but we just think in ourselves that the way it is prepared, no, it is the way it's going to be taste afterwards. And sometimes we go home and we can't prepare it same way, and we get disappointed and we start curse and we say, oh, them say it tastes like this, and oh, them say it would turn out like this. But come on now, we have to be realistic. I once wore a dress to church, and another person saw me in the dress and said they would like to be introduced to my dressmaker. And no, that person wasn't even considering that we are of the different shape and size and height and everything. And she now get disappointed when the dress fits her differently, telling me that my dressmaker cannot make. I say, but you saw the dress on me and it appeals to you and you desire of an outfit just like mine. I know you're telling me that my dressmaker, because the dress does not fit you like how it fits me. That's wrong, So unless you have the knowledge of what influenced buying behavior and stuff like that, then you wouldn't know what happened, right? So yes, market segmentation. We have come to the end of market segmentation. In summary, of course, you are required to read more in depth. Chapter summary. Market segmentation is the division of the market into subsets or segments of potential customers who have similar buying behavior and characteristics. Firms involved in market segmentation should consider the concepts of mass marketing, and target marketing. For segmentation to be effective, the following criteria must be present: measurably, accessibility, substantial, differential, responsiveness, durability, and action oriented. The market is usually segmented, though, on the basis of demographic, geographic, behavioral, psychographic, and benefits sought. Each factor has its own set of characteristics. A consumer now is the final user of the product, even though he or she may not be the one who made the purchase, right? While the customer is the purchaser of the product but may not be the final user. A consumer, right? As consumer, we are all consumer. As consumer, we go through different stages before buying product. While some of these stages are not very distinctive, they include: we have to have a need of recognition in order for us to buy something. Don't. Information search. Evaluation of alternative mean another way out. Purchase and post-purchase evaluation. So we're going to evaluate, why do we need this, why are we going to purchase this, right? And then the last thing in our summary: the consumer buying behavior may be influenced by culture, that is your belief, all right, the way of life, your food, your music, the way you dress, all right, your religion, that's your culture. Perception, the way you perceive, the way you see things, all right. Then we have reference group. These are the persons who convince you, who give you reference of a product, who give you tell you about it, all right? Try to persuade you and convince you. And then we have your level of income. Level of income is a big thing, because if you're not working, you cannot buy anything. So that should be your greatest influencer. Your level of income should be what influence you to buy anything at all, because if you're not working, you should not even have that desire to begin with. All right. And then comes anything else that was not listed here. We have come to the end of our chapter, and I hope that you have learned something. And remember, the text is there for you to read through, go in depth, right? All I did was to give you a summary of segmentation. Have a blessed day. See you in the next class.